On the Global TV News Express, Senator Oluremi Tinubu calls for sustainable healthcare financing. In business, Kirby unveils plan to boost revenue through tourism. On the foreign scene, Army of Europe needed to challenge Russia. And in sport, Kenya athlete Edwin Kibet wins 2025 Lagos City Marathon. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on the Global Television, coming to you from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Godwin Sunday. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on 9 Comsats. To the news and details. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called for sustainable health financing mechanisms that ensure efficient resource mobilization and utilization to strengthen Africans' healthcare systems. Speaking in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on the sideline of the 38th African Union Summit, the First Lady stressed that Africans' economic growth and social stability hinge on a robust healthcare system that guarantees access to essential medical services for millions across the continent. This was contained in a press statement signed by our Senior Special Assistant on Media, Busola Kukoyi. Students from no fewer than 23 public universities and polytechnics have lamented the delay of disbursement of their approved institutional loans from the Nigerian Education Loan Fund as deadline for tuition payments and examinations draw near. President Bola Tinubu signed the Student Loan Act into law on April 3rd, 2024 to provide sustainable higher education funding for Nigerian students. However, in response to NEL's Fund verified post on X during that week, students from several institutions, including the University of Nigeria Nsukka, Obafemi Awolowo University Ife, Federal University Lokoja, Ladoke Akintola University, and others in northern Nigeria expressed frustrations over the non-disbursement of their approved loans. The presidential candidate of the African Action Congress in the 2023 elections, Omoyele Sowore, was reportedly attacked morning by suspected thugs at the Lagos City Marathon. Sowore was attacked by the thugs alongside crew members of his media outfit while participating in the marathon. The thugs also attacked some journalists covering the event, injured many of their victims, and destroyed their cameras and other gadgets. The State Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Imo State Chapter, Chijetan Juk, a chieftain of the party and former lawmaker representing Ngorokbala State's constituency in Imo State, Amajirunwo, and the state legal advisor Uche Nwosu have resigned from the ruling party. Amarachi Ibe has details.
I am grateful for the opportunity to have served the APC Imo State in this capacity, and I appreciate the support, the trust that the party leadership and members have given to me during the term. I am proud of my accomplishment in office and what we did together. No regrets. As I have moved on to a new chapter, I am excited to announce to you that I have accepted the offer to become the official spokesperson of the Manzi organization.
I have decided to leave the APC. Let me first express my profound gratitude and commendation to our national leader, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his leadership ingenuity. To our dear Governor, Senator Hope Uzodinma, for his esteemed support and rare opportunities given to me in different capacities. Of this, I have decided to partner with the Manzi organization, TMO, an NGO that is deeply committed to humanitarian services and improving the welfare of the people.
The Tertiary Education Trust Medical Simulation Committee has presented his report at the Tertiary Education Trust Fund headquarters in Abuja. Chairman of the committee, Professor Wale Suleiman, while presenting the report, said medical simulation centers are virtually non-existent in Nigeria. Ramsey Enoch Agbo was at the event for Global Television.
The chairman of the committee, Professor Wale Suleiman, and his team came up with some findings in their report, one of which noted that there is an urgent need for all healthcare regulatory bodies in Nigeria to incorporate medical simulation in the education's curriculum of their trainees. He stated that there is need to accelerate the transition to integrated training curriculum in all healthcare institutions. The committee, in its findings, said the newly established Federal University of Health Sciences are uniquely positioned to incorporate innovative education and training modules in their curriculum, such as medical simulation.
There's an urgent need for healthcare regulatory bodies to incorporate and accept medical simulation training as a critical component of continuing medical education and proficiency training. There's a need to accelerate the transition to integrated training curriculum in healthcare, in all healthcare institutions. The newly established Federal University of Health Sciences are uniquely positioned to incorporate innovative education and training modules in their curriculum, such as medical simulation. The newly established Federal University of Health Sciences represent the best opportunity for incorporation of medical simulation in the education and training of new generation, emphasis on new generation of Nigerian healthcare workers that can compete on the world stage. An example is that worldwide now, nobody uses, most developed world don't use cadavers anymore. They've transitioned to computer-based training, teaching in anatomy and physiology. So that's the one big example that, you know.
In addition to the findings, the committee came up with the recommendation that will facilitate the implementation of their report, such as the establishment of simulation centers across Nigeria, medical simulation prototype, programs and equipment in the medical simulation centers, and funding mechanisms. Suleiman, in his final remarks and future direction, emphasized that one of the ways Nigeria healthcare can leapfrog the 21st century health system is through major investment in education and training of more healthcare workers that can compete on the world stage.
I believe strongly that one of the ways Nigeria healthcare may leapfrog into the 21st century is through major investment in education and training of future healthcare workers. People that can actually compete on the world stage. We're doing very well worldwide, but I think the way to get us there is through this investment in innovation. It's very critical. We can't continue to do the same way of training and expect that we would be able to compete. The second one is digital healthcare, which is telemedicine and remote patient care. Remote patient care is another element of healthcare innovation that would significantly improve access. If you're a great doctor and people can't see you, what's the point? So it's, how do you now, for instance, even in my clinic in Lagos, 20% of...
The chairman, Board of Trustee, Right Honorable Bello Masari, commended the committee for a job well done.
They have done and what they have presented. And I think, like he rightly said, this is the future, and we must embrace future with education, intervention organization. You see, the future belongs to those who, I can say, are prepared. And how do we get prepared? Through education.
At the turn of the 21st century, it has become increasingly critical to train young Nigerians to become familiar with technological innovations. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global Television.
Nigerian lawyers have reacted to a controversial incident involving the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, and his lawyer Aloy Ejimako, explaining how they will respond if a client shouted at them as Kanu did to his counsel. In a viral video recorded in the courtroom where Kanu was standing trial for terrorism charges, the IPOB leader was seen ordering his lawyer not to talk when he was talking. The IPOB leader had insisted that Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court Abuja should not preside over his case, citing a previous recusal. The escalating conflict in Democratic Republic of Congo will dominate an African Union summit opening this Saturday, with the Democratic Republic of Congo president absent after Rwanda-backed force seized a second major city on its territory. The 55-nation body meet in the Utopia capital Addis Ababa as Africa faces devastating conflict in the DRC and Sudan, as well as U.S. President Donald Trump's cuts to U.S. development aid, which have hit the continent hard. The African leaders represent around 1.5 billion people in a body long criticized for sluggishness, inefficiency, and toothless statements. Alumni of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University have commended the institution's decision to expel a student, Chi Amaka Godi Mbakwe, who assaulted a lecturer of the university, Dr. Chukwudi Okoye, for disrupting a TikTok video. A video where Gudi Mbakwe was assaulting the lecturer surfaced online, generating widespread attention on social media. The management of the university set up a panel on the conduct of the students. The panel found her guilty of misconduct and recommended her for expulsion, which was adopted by the university authorities. Fire has destroyed the Gwandabawa local government area office of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Sokoto. This was contained in a statement signed by the Commission's National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voters Education Committee, Sam Olumekun. The statement says the fire was reported by the Administrative Secretary in charge of the state office, Awa Kangiwa. Binance top official Tigran Gambarian insisted that the $150 million bribery allegation he made against 3 Nigerian lawmakers is factual. He added his post on Friday was nothing but the truth of what took place in Nigeria. Recall that the Binance boss had taken to the micro-blogging site X to name Philip Agbese, Ginger Owuisibe, and Peter Akpanke, all members of the House of Representatives, as the 3 prominent Nigerians who demanded a bribe of $150 million from him to forestall his arrest and prosecution over money laundering allegations. The claim has since been dismissed by the lawmakers and the federal government. You are watching the live broadcast of News Express on Global Television, coming to you from the nation's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, African Union Summit opens overshadowed by Democratic Republic of Congo's conflict. We have those details from the world of business, as well as more stories from foreign and sports segments for you. Please stay with us. Welcome back. In business, the Kebbi State government has announced a strategy to revitalize the tourism sector. The initiative, spearheaded by Governor Nasir Idris, aims to attract both local and foreign investments by modernizing cultural heritage sites and upgrading traditional festivals. A special advisor on communication and strategy to the governor, Alhaji Abdullahi Zuru, disclosed this development during the familiarization visit to the newly established Bar Yawaru FM radio station in Yauri in the state. His visit was part of the government's awareness campaign to drum up support for the renowned Regatta Annual Festival, a signature event hosted by Yauri Emirates Council under the leadership of the Emir of Yauri, Dr. Mos Abdullahi. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has denied claims that it sells substandard petrol with a high bomb rate. In a statement by its spokesperson Olufemi Soneye, the NNPCL said it was reacting to a viral video claiming that its petrol does not last long in fuel tanks. It was earlier reported that a video had surfaced online where a content creator claimed he bought a liter of Dangote petrol from MRS filling station in Alakpere in Lagos State at 925 naira and the same liter at NNPC in Ojodu Bega at the rate of 945 naira. According to him, he poured the fuel into separate power generators, and the one running an NNPC fuel stopped after 17 minutes, while the Dangote petrol lasted until 33 minutes. A Cross River State Governor Basi Otu has expressed excitement over the federal government's plan to transform Obudu Cattle Ranch into a major hub for livestock and dairy production in Nigeria. Speaking through the Deputy Governor Peter Ode during a courtesy visit by the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Maiha, Otu said Obudu's favorably climate, rich biodiversity, and vast landmass were key advantages for large-scale livestock farming and dairy production. Earlier, the minister acknowledged Nigeria's 33 trillion livestock industry, noting, however, that it remained vastly underutilized. The Central Bank of Nigeria has assured the public that Keystone Bank Limited remains stable and fully operational despite a court order forfeiting the bank's shares to the federal government. In a statement issued, the federal government acting director of corporate communication, Akana Sidi Ali, acknowledged concerns over the development but maintained that there was no cause for alarm. She stated that the stability of the banking sector and the safety of the depositors' funds remained the regulator's top priority. On the foreign scene, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has called for the creation of Army of Europe to guard against Russia, as he suggested the US may no longer come to the continent's aid. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference, he also said that Ukraine would never accept deals made behind our backs without our involvement, end of quote. After US President Donald Trump and Russia President Vladimir Putin agreed to start peace talks. Well, in a speech in which he attacked European democracies, US Vice President V.D. Vance warned that Europe needed to step up in a big way on defense. Still on the foreign scene, Hamas has released 3 Israeli hostages after days of fear over future of Gaza ceasefire. The hostages are now back in Israel. Israel is releasing 369 Palestinian prisoners in return. A few went to the West Bank. The majority are now arriving in Gaza. Pope Francis was admitted to a hospital in Rome for tests and treatments for a treatment known as bronchitis, the Vatican has announced. The Vatican stated that the 88-year-old Pope, who has been breathless in recent days, has delegated officials to read his speeches, was admitted following his morning audiences. He was hospitalized at Rome Gemelli Hospital for necessary diagnostic tests and to continue treatment for ongoing treatment in a hospital setting. Volodymyr Zelensky is set to meet U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance in Germany with a warning against trusting Russia Vladimir Putin as concerns mount in Kyiv and among its European allies that the Ukraine war will be settled over their heads. The Munich Security Conference starts days after U.S. Presidents Donald Trump and Putin held watershed talks that have shaken Ukraine and America's NATO allies, almost 3 years after Russia launched its full-scale invasion. Trump said he has agreed with Putin to soon start Ukraine peace talks and exchange friendly visits. In sports, Kenya athlete Edwin Koech has won the men's category of the 2025 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. He won the $50,000 first prize for the men's category, which is second after clinching victory in the 2023 edition of the Access Bank Marathon. The Kenyan ran for a record of 2 hours and 14 minutes. About 37,000 runners competed for the 10-kilometer and 42-kilometer races of the 2025 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Well, still on sports, let's take you straight to football, where the Bayern Munich and Germany midfielder Jamal Musiala has signed a new contract with the Bundesliga giants until 2030, the club has announced. Musiala, still just 21, has emerged as a key player for club and country, making nearly 200 appearances already for Bayern. Bayern made the announcement a day before facing defending champions Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. Bayern sits 8 points ahead of second place Leverkusen with 13 games remaining. As we end the Global TV News Express, let's take a look at our major stories. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called for sustainable health financing mechanism that ensures efficiency, resource mobilization and utilization to strengthen Africa's healthcare system. In business, the Kebbi state government has announced a strategy to revitalize the tourism sector. On the foreign scene, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has called for the creation of Army of Europe to guard against Russia, as it suggested the US may no longer come to the continent's aid. And in sport, Kenyan athlete Edwin Koech has won the men's category of the 2025 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. And that's it on Global Television News Express. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276, and free to air on 9Comsat. Kindly follow us across all our social media handles showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNG. I am Godwin Sunday. Thank you for watching.